Hi family, welcome back to Simple Taste by Stephanie. Today we're going to be making candied yams. Now, I actually make my candied yams by first boiling the candied yams. Actually, I like to boil the entire potato. I don't take the skin off or anything. I actually will season my water with um, some salt water and go ahead and make sure that the water is covering all of the sweet potatoes in the pot, and then make sure that boils enough for the sweet potatoes to become tender. I generally use a skewer again to test the temperature and the thickness of the sweet potato. So I have already boiled my potatoes. I only have a few because I'm making a small portion today. So this is how my sweet potatoes look in the pot once I drain all of the water out of them. So you can see that I've boiled them with the skin on, okay? So I am just going to take a knife. Let me get a sharper knife than that. And I am just going to start at the end and peeling that skin off. And because I boiled it with the skin on, I'm gonna be able to peel back that skin just so thin, and I won't waste a lot of that overall sweet potato. See that? So basically by doing this, I am minimizing waste because we just do not want to be throwing food in the trash. And my potato is still a bit hot. I usually like to sit it to the side a little bit for it to cool because you definitely don't want to burn your hand. And as I'm peeling that skin off, I'm just going to drop that right back in there, just as a holder. I'm going to repeat that same. And if you find that when you're peeling your skin off, that there are some parts of the potato that are still a little tough or undone, it's okay because we're going to bake this all up. So it will still have the ability to have some cooking time. So no worries. And you'll get to see that I actually was able to keep the shape of my sweet potato. It's got a little bit head there. So you can see that I've been able to skin it so clean that it keeps its shape. Right. Now I'm gonna grab my cutting board. I don't want to cut my countertop up. So I'm gonna take my sweet potatoes that I just removed all the skin off of, and if you find that there's just a little more on there that you missed, feel free to go ahead and cut that off. So I actually like to slice mine, I guess it's about a 1/2 inch or so thickness. If you like yours a little thicker, feel free to do that, but I like mine to be about a 1/2 inch thick. I like the size of them, and it's also going to allow a more even cooking time when I bake them all up with the candied sauce. little bit of skin there. And if you have a little bit of skin still on them, no worries. Won't kill you. They actually say that in potatoes, overall, sweet and regular potatoes, there's a lot of vitamins in the skin. I just recommend that you really do clean your potatoes first. Use it, you know, you can use a little scrubber to clean the potato skin, just so that you are eating something fresh, clean, and safe. All right. So I have a very small container. It's a little casserole dish. And again, I'm just making a small portion. So you will see that I am beginning to just layer in those sweet potatoes, layering them right in the pan. And it's okay if they don't all lay flat in there. Right. Let me clean up a bit and we'll just go to the next step. Okay guys, so some of the other ingredients that we're gonna need to make our candied sauce is light corn syrup. I like to use Caro syrup, pure honey. We're gonna use pure vanilla. I have cinnamon, nutmeg, ground allspice, dark brown sugar, and I also have butter. All right. So one of the first things I do is I like to use about a 1/4 cup of butter, and you're gonna melt it. Okay. So I have my melted butter here. I'm gonna use about a 1/2 cup of dark brown sugar. You're welcome to use light brown sugar if that's what you have. I prefer the dark brown. And it doesn't, I don't want you to use a heaping 1/2 cup, just really a 1/2 cup, okay? I'm going to go ahead and pour in my butter. And guys, I'm not going to be using a whole lot of measurements. I'm really a sprinkle and shaker of this dish. I am going to measure our vanilla, however, and I'm only going to use about a 1/2 teaspoon of pure vanilla. My Caro syrup that I'm going to be using has vanilla in it, so I don't need a lot of pure vanilla. All right, let's do some honey. And I should have had that upside down, so let's come back to that. Let's do the Caro syrup. And it really is gonna look like a lot that I'm pouring in. I'm gonna say it is going to create the quantity of the candied sauce, okay? So don't be shy about using it. All right, and let's do our honey. That's gonna be our pure sweetener. That's about a tablespoon I've poured in there. And then as far as our seasonings, I only like to use a dash of nutmeg. I'm not a big nutmeg fan. I also have a nut allergy. Although, you know, it's not that severe with nutmeg for some reason. However, I do immediately will notice that nutmeg is in a dish if it's in there and it's potent. But I'm gonna use cinnamon, which is very important to this recipe. So I'm going to be generous at shaking cinnamon. But the bonus always in my candied sweet potatoes is the ground allspice. Love allspice. So notice that the holes are a lot larger on that allspice, but I don't want to overdo it. All right, just going to use a spoon and I'm just going to start stirring in those ingredients together, incorporating them, and look how easily that turns into, it almost looks like a caramel. It's really delicious. And don't be shy about doing a little taste test for yourself and to determine whether you need more of something. For me, I am going to add a little bit more allspice. I'm gonna taste test again. That's good. All right, so got my sweet potatoes. They're already layered in my casserole dish. And I'm just gonna take that candied sauce and I'm just gonna pour that on top. And that sauce is just going to fall into all of those crevices, I promise you. And then as it bakes up, it's just all gonna bake up really nicely together. And it's gonna be so, so delicious. All right, yep. So good. I'm gonna put my oven on 375. And I'm also going to add a bit of foil to the top of this and bake it for about 30 minutes. And again, if you've boiled your potatoes thoroughly, then you're not going to need a whole lot of baking time. But if you did not boil your potatoes enough and when you cut them up, you had a lot of hard sections, you're going to want it to bake a little longer. So it's all depending on how you prepared your potato and determine how long it needs to bake. Again, this is a small serving. I want to have my meal in about an hour or so. So I boiled my potatoes enough so that really all I need to do is just bake it for a bit. I do, for the last part of the baking process, pull the foil off so that that heat gets all of those ingredients right on the top and gives it a crisp, kind of like a glazing look on the top. So join me back in about 20 minutes and we'll see the final baked product of my candied sweet potatoes. Hey guys, we're back. I've taken those candied yams out of the oven and this is what they look like. Oh my gosh, they are bubbling. And I had to put it on the cookie sheet to keep the juices from getting in the oven. There you go. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Simple Taste by Stephanie. I'll see you guys next time.